culture, the values? Do you see ways in which your bank's culture reflects this?
From a from an organizational perspective, collectively, it's really just about creating habits inside the organization that has made a
Mhm.
huge difference in our organization. For being a banking organization, you can imagine all the internal meetings we have, and
Mhm.
one of the things that we do that I think has really amplified our emotional intelligence is uh, before we start every meeting, we do check-ins.
Ah, good.
Just ask people how that, how are you doing? How
Mhm.
are you feeling?
Mhm.
How are you emotionally today?
Oh, yeah.
As a kind of a driven type leader, that was really hard for me. So I'd go into meetings with an agenda ready to dive into
Mhm.
the world.
Sure.
What I found out, people were coming in with different things on their heart. So you were able by those check-ins to really see where everybody was emotionally. And then all
Wow.
of a sudden, when we all become human at that point.
Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah.
And then the second thing we do in our meetings is the leader of the meeting does a something with our purpose and values. Each week, we write a letter to to the company about our purpose and values, and that letter,
Wow.
our leaders actually use that to actually start the meeting after those check-ins. And so our
Wow.
purpose is to empower and inspire others to spend life wisely. And then our values are really are all centered around two key concepts: love and impact. You can imagine a community banking group, and maybe they're having a past due meeting, and one of our values is faith. And here's the leader of the meeting talking about their faith before we
Uh,
get into a
wow.
discussion about a problem assets. And then also impacts, which is high perform. One of those is high performance or relationships. And then the last thing we do is appreciations. And so we
Mm.
at the very end of the meeting, we go around and just tell
Wow.
each other how each one of them might have affected uh, each other during the meeting or during the past week.
Mhm.
And I always say people go into a meeting in a company culture, you never feel prepared enough. You always feel you walk out of there
Mhm.
with more than you can do. And for someone just to
Wow.
say,
Uh-huh.
just like Dr. Goleman, the impact that your book had 13 years ago in my life
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
incredible. And some of the stuff I learned in your book 13 years ago is in effect today in my organization. And by me
Mhm.
just telling you that right there, just you can't help but have some proud that
Thank
you
you.
say,
Sure.
I wrote that book, and
Sure.
here's this bank in Oklahoma that I had huge impact of. And I never even knew this guy. He
Who
ran,
knew?
who knew, right? And yeah, but now all of a sudden you feel like that hard work and dedication that it took to write that book,
Right.
the impact you're having
Mhm.
on someone that's working in an
Mhm.
organization today.